早喺1997年3月，摩西詩篇第149篇嘅主日信息裏面，日華牧師經已介紹兩度榮獲諾貝爾獎嘅萊納斯·鮑能博士 Linus Pauling PhD 所提倡高劑量維他命 C 治療癌症嘅方法。鮑能博士分別喺1970年發表嘅維他命 C 與感冒同埋1979年發表嘅維他命 C 與癌症嘅兩份獲獎巨著中直接指出維他命 C 有防癌同埋治癌嘅效果，故此令人們更為重視同埋深加研究維他命 C 嘅醫療果效。
咁而事實上啦有一樣嘢值得提，如果提到維他命 C 咧，就一個嘅喺美國一個嘅好出名下嘅一個嘅專係做嗰啲片集嗰啲明星啦，咁佢就後尾患咗 cancer， 咁當患咗 cancer 之後咧，佢就發覺醫生就係即係簡直當佢死咗咁樣噶啦已經啊！呢個好邪惡咁，因為西醫就總之你患 cancer 就一腳踢埋喺邊等你死嘅，咁但係問題你係人嚟噶嘛，你係想生存噶嘛，係咪？雖然你想生存係犯法，按住而家西醫嚟講，咁但係問題佢就於是乎呢種用盡好多個方法咧，去研究點樣可以使自己生存落去。於是乎佢就發現咗啲嘢咧，而佢就出咗一個嘅 video 帶叫做 What Your Doctor Won't Tell You About Cancer， 即係話關於 cancer 有啲咩嘢咧係你嘅西醫絕對唔會話俾你聽。咁咪做咗個餅咁嘅帶，咁咪後邊訪問好多嘅即係醫學嗰啲專家啊嗰啲咁樣啦嚇，即係肯出嚟講嘅事實嗰啲啦，同埋呢個就係嗰個明星自己親自係做旁白嘅。咁裏邊其實講緊其中一樣嘢咧，就係西醫咧發現呢樣嘢咧，又係猛砌嘅，就係乜嘢咧？就係原來其實咧喺好多年前一個諾貝爾得獎者啊，佢發現就係原來食大量嘅維他命 C 咧係可以使個人醫 cancer 嘅。係佢發現嘅喎。事實上咧，我哋同大家分享個雙氧水就發現原來維他命 C 係刺激你嘅身體製造好多嘅雙氧水，所以呢個就係點解醫好 cancer 啦。咁但係呢樣嘢一發現之後咧，就所有西醫唔理三七日咧都砌呢樣嘢啊。而一到個階段咧，好多人都唔知道呢件事，甚至咧知都係一知半解嘅，所以變咗咧導致咧，如果你唔知淨係聽過話維他命 C 大量維他命 C 係可以醫 cancer 嘅話咧，咁啊會導致你有危險嘅。因為點解咧？因為呢個裏邊有講啊，就係話咧，即係呢餅帶嘅第一個人咧就係佢嚟嘅，就係嗰個人。咁咪講話好多西醫點樣撳住呢件事，因為原來咧好多西醫話唔好嘅冇用嘅。同埋甚至有副作用嘅，其實個副作用係點嚟呢？原因就係呢，係啲西醫唔將個事實講俾你聽，因為原來呢，用維他命 C 有個咁嘅現象嘅，就係話呢，你係應該慢慢加嗰個量，而加到某一個定量之後呢，如果你突然間唔食嘅話呢，唔係慢慢降翻落去，係突然間唔食呢，係會對身體有副作用嘅，因為你嘅身體已經係依賴維他命 C 去抗癌啊，而咁樣係會有嚴重嘅副作用嘅。即係發覺佢講咗呢個理論出嚟呢，好多人就用好多理由去撳住呢個資料啊！即係因為佢知咁多啲資料，好翻 cancer， 所以就出咗呢餅嘅帶出嚟嘅。但係你記住，我裏邊講嘅嘢係犯法嘅啊！因為你如果患 cancer 呢，你如果有方法好翻嘅話，咁你就犯咗法㗎啦嚇！因為你唔應該係生存嘅，你應該死嘅嚇！即係按住西醫嘅理論嚟講嚇，即係西醫話可以控制住一件事，或者拖到俾多1-2年命你係一件事，但係你如果俾翻條命你就唔得，明唔明啊？所以呢點你要知道，一餅咁嘅帶都幾出名嘅喺加拿大、美國。咁所以原來呢就係維他命 C 有呢個咁特別嘅特質啦嚇。咁但係大量應用嘅時候，你要記住就係話，如果你係有 cancer 大量應用，你會依賴咗佢嘅話呢，你就算好翻 cancer，你唔用嘅話呢，你都要慢慢嘅唔用㗎。
此外，鮑能博士 Pauling PhD 同卡梅隆博士 Evan Cameron PhD。由1971年開始，對維他命 C 防癌治癌嘅效果做咗大量臨床實驗，喺1100名癌症嘅末期患者，包括經外科手術、放射、化學等療法均無效者，由其中選出100名為治療組，每人供食10公克高劑量嘅維他命 C， 其他1000名為對照組，兩組間其他嘅日常處理都完全相同。兩位博士發現，定時服用高劑量嘅維他命 C， 逐步增加維他命 C 劑量，每日達10公克，可以預防癌症體內生長，而且對癌症病人亦都有顯著效果。佢哋經過5年試驗，喺1976年喺美國科學會摘要 Proceeding of the National Academy of Science 發表研究結果，其中每日服用10公克組別嘅平均生存期，較其他1000名對照組延長多咗4倍，甚至喺7年之後。1978年8月報告指出，對照組嘅1000名患者已經全部死亡，而每人服用維他命 C 10公克組別裏面仍然仲有18人生存。只係佢哋兩個人並唔認為單維他命 C 本身係可以治癌嘅， 佢哋認為一個人會唔會得癌症，得咗之後會唔會惡化同埋好轉，同本身抵抗力嘅強弱有好大嘅關係。假若能夠增加身體嘅抵抗力，則對癌症治療必有改善。而維他命 C 喺呢度正正提供輔助功效。另外，佢哋發現維他命 C 喺好多方面可以增強病人嘅抵抗力，抑止癌症腫瘤嘅擴大，防止癌症腫瘤轉移，並且可以增強免疫力，改善健康狀況等。實驗指出，當維他命 C 極度缺乏嘅時候，身體會非常衰弱疲倦。而維他命 C 係生物體合成肉鹼卡拉天唔能夠缺少嘅一種物質。據文件記載，癌症患者嘅體內維他命 C 嘅含量好低，容易導致身體惡質化。另有報告指出，維他命 C 可增加放射線療法嘅效果，可以保護正常組織，而使放射線療法增強。喺照射前補充維他命 C， 會減少皮膚同埋骨髓受到放射線嘅傷害。維他命 C 亦都可以減少化學療法嘅副作用。利用維他命 C 嚟治療癌腫瘤嘅時候，血液中必須保持一定嘅濃度，並且要持續唔可以間斷，亦都唔可以突然減量或者停服。突然減量會導致反效果。口服維他命 C 嘅時候，身體能夠容忍嘅最大劑量係以腸嘅接受度為準，超過腸嘅接受度容易導致腹瀉。服用高劑量維他命 C 嘅時候，唔可以一次過服下，可以每日分成少量，分多次嚟服用。
喺2014年9月28日嘅2012榮耀盼望主日信息裏面，又華牧師分享咗一種應用脂質性維他命 C Liposomal Vitamin C 嘅方式。Liposome 脂質體由兩個希臘文組成， Lipo 解作油脂 Fat， 而 Soma 解作載體 Body。 由於維他命 C 係水溶性嘅，所以當人飲用維他命 C 嘅時候，大部分會迅速被腸胃系統嘅水分所吸收，黏附喺腸臟同埋胃臟裏面，因此僅只有2成維他命 C， 最後先至能夠進入身體細胞裏面。另一方面，當維他命 C 喺腸胃裏面累積到大量之後，對腸胃造成負荷，身體喺自我保護嘅機制下，就會以輻射嘅方式將呢8成維他命 C 排出體外。所以常人當服食過量嘅維他命 C 後，一般都係出現腸臟不適嘅現象，例如肚瀉。故此，由於有8成維他命 C 冇辦法被身體吸收而浪費咗，因此如果要吸收大量維他命 C 嘅話，就要服用極高劑量嘅維他命 C， 身體先至能夠吸收到足夠嘅維他命 C 對抗重症。但係有人發現，只要將維他命 C 加入脂質體，就能夠減少腸胃吸收，讓呢一種含有脂質性嘅維他命 C可以沿住消化系統一路傳流到大腸。就因為大腸嘅功能就係吸收脂肪，所以呢一種含有脂質性嘅維他命 C 就可以直接被大腸吸收進入體內，同被免疫系統嘅巨細細胞所吸收，嚟提升人體嘅免疫力。採用呢一種含有脂質性嘅維他命 C， 可以讓身體輕易咁吸收高達7至8成嘅維他命 C， 其果效比口服甚至靜脈注射更好，吸收百分比更高。同時呢一種食用方式亦都能夠免去口服維他命 C 嘅副作用。紐西蘭嘅60分鐘時事雜誌曾經報道高劑量維他命 C 同埋脂質性維他命 C 治癒豬流感嘅個案，就係一名紐西蘭農夫 Alan Smith 喺2009年患上豬流感，呢個亦都曾經喺香港爆發嘅新型流感，而其後痊癒嘅個案。由於佢係因着高劑量維他命 C 而痊癒，因此喺紐西蘭嘅醫學界亦都成為咗一宗極具爭議性嘅案例。節目當中亦都揭示咗西醫霸權陰暗嘅一面。
Now this is a story of a man, a dairy farmer who came back from the dead. Doctors were all set to turn off his life support, but his family refused to give up. They demanded the hospital try high doses of vitamin C. Well, as Melanie Reid will show you, it turned into a fight. The specialists didn't believe such a treatment would work, but, well, suffice to say, the farmer is no longer on death's door, and his family claim he's living proof.
This is Aotearoa farmer Alan Smith in Auckland's intensive care unit shortly before the doctors told his family his life support should be turned off and he be allowed to die. Alan's story began on June 28, 2009. He arrived at Auckland International Airport after a fishing trip with mates in Fiji. He caught a connecting flight to Tauranga where his launch is moored and was joined by his wife Sonia.
I woke up in the night and he was really hot, so I gave him some Panadol and that cooled him off, but cooled him off a bit much because later on he was so... I woke up again and he was just like, he was laying there just stone cold and just laying there still as, and I thought, oh God, the first thing that came to my mind was, God, he's dead.
In Tauranga Hospital, Alan was swabbed for swine flu. After 2 days, his deterioration was so dramatic, the 3 sons and 8 grandchildren arrived, warned this could be a final goodbye.
Just seeing him just in an induced coma and everything like that just was horrible. I mean, yeah, that was the beginning.
A specialist crew flew in from Auckland with a portable ECMO machine, a complex life support system which takes over the function of the lungs. All the grandkids had surrounded their papa before he was airlifted north. As Alan lay in a coma in Auckland Hospital, heavily medicated, ECMO and other machines keeping him alive, these are those clouded out X-rays. Alan developed what's known as whiteout pneumonia. This is when the lungs can't be seen by X-ray, so full of infected fluids they are unable to take in any air whatsoever. For weeks on end, Alan's condition changed little, hovering close to death.
When it got to 3 weeks, it was really getting scary then.
Just as the family thought things couldn't get any worse, Alan was diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia. Auckland Hospital notes to the family say,
"The type of leukemia Mr. Smith has is potentially treatable if that's all he had. However, with his lung failure, Mr. Smith cannot survive."
While Auckland Hospital refused to take part in this story, 60 Minutes has obtained Alan Smith's medical files and records of that Monday meeting.
This morning, we, the CVICU consultants, met and discussed with the ECMO specialist from America, Mr. Smith's situation. The group is in unanimous agreement that Mr. Smith should be removed from ECMO and be allowed to die. Continuing is only prolonging his inevitable death.
My brother just stepped in and he said, no, you haven't tried everything. You've got to try vitamin C, intravenously, high doses. And they just said, no.
The family pleaded with doctors that Alan be administered high-dose vitamin C, a treatment right outside of mainstream medicine. So what was the doctor's reaction?
Oh, they said no because there's no proof of it doing anything or doing anyone any good. Or my mind was just spinning because they wanted to turn them off, and I'm thinking, well, I hope we can get through this. And with that, Paul and Shane walked in.
That's your sons?
Yes, 2 of our boys. They walked in and then, they really stood their grounds.
They were all about to find out if they'd pushed hard enough. The next day, Tuesday, Auckland Hospital arranged another family meeting.
All of intensive care unit medical staff have met again. We are all in agreement that vitamin C will be of no benefit. We all agree Mr. Smith will not survive. However, one member feels slightly uneasy that we should wait a little longer before taking Mr. Smith off ECMO. It's therefore reasonable to wait until Friday. If Mr. Smith has shown no improvement by then, he will be taken off ECMO. In the meantime, given the family's strong beliefs about vitamin C, we are willing to give this over the next 2 days.
So, Tuesday night, he got his first dose of 25 grams through the IV, and Wednesday morning he got another 25 grams. The Wednesday afternoon they did a CT scan on his chest, and that's when they found the air pockets in his lungs, whereas the x-rays had showed just complete white.
So, Alan's x-rays, Before high-dose intravenous vitamin C, so full of infected fluid, the lungs can't be seen. This X-ray taken after 2 days of high-dose vitamin C treatment. The lungs dramatically improved and readily visible. By D-Day, the Friday when Alan Smith was destined to die, when the ECMO life support was to be withdrawn, turned out to be the day Alan Smith was destined to, well, maybe, survive.
Mr. Smith is stable but still critical. He has improved over the last couple of days. Turning Mr. Smith prone has probably made the biggest difference. His chest X-ray is better.
So less than a week after the high-dose vitamin C was started, Alan had improved to the point that he could be taken off ECMO life support. Then, just as the family felt they could breathe a bit easy themselves, Alan's health started to dive. They would find the vitamin C had been stopped.
This time, a different consultant was there, and he was just so adamant against it. He sat back in his chair, rolled his eyes and crossed his arms and looked at the ceiling and said, "No, not putting him back on it. No, no."
Did he make you feel like a bit of an idiot?
He did, and it's the first time everyone hit someone.
3 days later, the vitamin C was restarted, but only very low doses of 1 gram twice a day. By early August, still critical and still in an induced coma, but by now breathing on a ventilator, Alan was airlifted closer to home, to intensive care at Waikato Hospital, who, like Auckland Hospital, wouldn't be interviewed. It was here the Smith family found they had another scrap on their hands.
A doctor comes on and stops it. And
stops the vitamin C?
Stops the vitamin C.
And says what?
And I said, you know, why? And he said, well, this stuff has come down with him and we don't know what it is. So here we go again, another fight.
This time they brought in the heavyweights. Wellington public law specialist May Chen warned Waikato Hospital.
The decision to discontinue the high-dose intravenous vitamin C treatment without consulting with Alan's family is in breach of Right 7 of the Health and Disability Commissioner's Code.
There was even a threat, wasn't there, that you would go to the High Court?
Yes, we would. Well, this is someone's life we're dealing with, not just anything, you know. Once he's dead, you can't get him back. And we weren't going to let that happen.
So they agreed to give him a couple of grams of vitamin C a day.
Yeah.
And you wanted him to be on like 50 grams a day.
That's right. Yeah.
So they kind of said, yes, we'll do it, but didn't really do it anyway.
No, that's right.
Slowly recovered, and it wasn't until we got some oral Lypo-Spheric vitamin C into him, and that's when he once again recovered really fast.
After a total of 9 weeks in a coma, Alan eventually was woken, which is when Sonia began administering vitamin C to Alan herself, using a special high-dose oral form known as Lipo-Spheric. The next step was meant to be months of rehabilitation.
Yeah, I was taking 6 grams of that a day, of the Lipo-Spheric, and of course, when I had to go to rehab again to learn to walk, I was told I'd be there for 3 months. Well, in 3 months, I did not like the sound of that. But I walked out of that hospital in 1 day under 14 days. And even the doctors were absolutely disbelieved that I could come right so quick.
喺呢段影片中，最後亦都提及 Alan Smith 係服用脂質性維他命 C， 使到佢痊愈。脂質體利用磷脂雙分子層膜形成嘅囊泡包裹藥物分子，從而形成製劑 preparations。由於人體質膜嘅基本結構亦都係磷脂雙分子層膜，因此脂質體有好好嘅生物相容性。當脂質體進入人體之後，佢會被免疫系統視為入侵者， 於是佢會被體內嘅網狀內皮系統吞噬，從而喺肝、脾、肺同骨髓等組織裏面靶向性集中。磷脂係構成脂質體嘅主要化學成分，其中最具代表性嘅係卵磷脂。卵磷脂主要嚟自蛋黃同埋大豆，製備成本低，性質穩定，屬於中性磷脂。現時已經有營養補充品應用呢一種技術生產脂質性維他命 C。以下就讓我哋睇睇脂質性維他命 C 嘅原理。
Traditional supplements like tablets, capsules, powders, and even some nutrients from your diet are not processed and absorbed efficiently by your body and are passed as waste, never making it into your cells where they're needed most. Livon Labs' patented Lypo-Spheric delivery system maximizes the absorption of nutrients by using liposomes. Liposomes are microscopic liquid-filled spheres made from essential phospholipids. This structure not only protects the active nutrient from destruction in the digestive system, but also allows liposomes to seamlessly deliver nutrients to cells in the body. Within minutes of ingesting Lipo-Spheric supplements, our nutrient-filled liposomes enter the bloodstream intact and release their active nutrients directly to the cells. Livon Labs' Lipo-Spheric encapsulation technology is the most efficient way to deliver nutrients orally, outperforming all other forms of supplements.
雖然脂質性維他命 C 嘅售價高昂，但係其實只要幾個簡單嘅步驟，大家亦都可以喺家中自行製作脂質性維他命 C， 唔需要購買市面上嘅製成品。但係要記住，製作好嘅脂質性維他命 C 要存放喺雪櫃內，否則只能夠存放3日。大家可以參照以下片段，自行製作脂質性維他命 C。
It's called Liposomal Encapsulated Vitamin C. Sounds really complicated, but liposomal encapsulation just means that we're putting a thin layer of a lipid. In this case, it's a non-GMO lecithin layer around vitamin C, pure vitamin C, ascorbic acid. And so that works really well. It's so cheap and easy to do. All you need to do this are, of course, the vitamin C, some non-GMO lecithin, some water. A blender is good, although it's not absolutely necessary. And you need a little ultrasonic cleaner. Now, the ultrasonic cleaner does the magic of actually encapsulating the vitamin C solution into the lipid layers. The ultrasonic bubbles just wrap it around. So it's an amazing thing, and these wrapped little bubbles that look almost tiny, like tiny little cells with a lipid layer around them from the lecithin will carry that vitamin C through the digestive system so it doesn't get interfered with by the digestive juices or the enzymes, and it will bring it right into the bloodstream where these little capsules go into the cells much more easily. In fact, this stuff is so much more powerful. We've read that it acts like about 6 to 8 times the equivalent amount of vitamin C taken by IV. That's amazing. 6 to 8 times more powerful than the IV equivalent of this vitamin C. So here's how we do it. First of all, we take the vitamin C and we put it into warm water. That just dissolves it faster. So we've got 1 cup of the water and 2 tablespoons of vitamin C crystals. Okay, so 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of vitamin C crystals. We just mix it up like that and it will dissolve. We also have I put 6.5 level tablespoons of the lecithin, 6.5 level tablespoons of lecithin in 2 cups of water, and pure water, distilled is best, or get the purest water you can get. And we stir that in and mix it around a bit here, but we're going to really let the blender do the hard work of the mixing. So there we go. That's good enough for now. And we put it into our trusty BlendTech blender, and this one needs a little more dissolving. So we'll just run this Okay. And now we simply add the vitamin C and repeat. And there we go. This blending has already mixed the lipid solution with the vitamin C quite effectively, and we have about 30 ounces here. Well, it looks, because there's a bit of foam, it's about 25, 26 ounces here, and we put it into the ultrasonic unit here. And this is the easy part. We start the unit. I'm going to put 480, which is 8 minutes long, and we'll let it go. While it's going, I'll just stir it like this to mix it over the little ultrasonic element there. So we're going to just do this for the 480 seconds. And here we are right at the end of the 480 second cycle, the 8 minutes. And we got a nice smooth, almost looks like eggnog in there. Now we'll just pour it out into glass containers, and recommend refrigerating it. It lasts stably for only 3 or 4 days at room temperature, so it does much, much longer if you're doing it in the fridge, keeping it in the fridge. So we recommend that. So now we have our finished product here. We've put 30 grams of vitamin C, pure ascorbic acid crystals, into 24 ounces of water. And so that's about 1¼ grams per ounce of liquid. So now we didn't get 100% encapsulation efficiency with this. We get probably around 70%. And so it's around 0.9 grams of actual encapsulated vitamin C. And the rest is in the solution. So when you taste it, it tastes kind of like a funny kind of eggnog. Because of the lecithin, it has that feeling of eggnog at the end in your throat. But it's slightly sour because it didn't encapsulate all of the vitamin C. That's okay. The rest of it will act like taking oral vitamin C normally will, but that encapsulated stuff will do a great job. And it acts like 6 to 8 grams of IV vitamin C per gram of encapsulated vitamin C. So you're getting, say it's 0.9 grams, it'll act like 5 to 7 grams of IV vitamin C per ounce that you get in just a little shot glass is 1 ounce.
片段當中亦都提及，佢呢種做法並唔能夠包覆所有維他命 C。其實，如果想有更佳效果，增加身體嘅吸收率，有人會將用剛才嘅方法而製作好嘅脂質性維他命 C 放入雪櫃12分鐘，等佢冷卻之後，再重複用超聲波震8分鐘，再放入雪櫃。呢個程序反覆處理5次，每一次都係用超聲波8分鐘，合共40分鐘。脂質性維他命 C 效能超卓，以上述影片嘅份量為例，喺24安士溶液裏面放入30克維他命 C， 即係3萬 mg， 等於每1安士含 1.25 克維他命 C。如果身體能夠吸收約70%嘅話，即係每1安士嘅脂質性維他命 C 溶液，身體就可以吸收到 0.9 克維他命 C， 亦都即係900 mg。若果係口服嘅話，吸收嘅程度只係 20% 左右。如果身體要吸收1克維他命 C， 即係1000 mg 嘅話，就要食5粒1000 mg 嘅維他命 C， 身體先至可以吸收到1000 mg。相對，大約1安士左右嘅脂質性維他命 C 溶液就可以等於5粒1000 mg 維他命 C。如先前提及，患有豬流感嘅 Alan Smith， 家人要求醫生靜脈注射高劑量25克維他命 C， 即係25000 mg， 以身體吸收70%計算，即係 17.5 克。相對，以口服嘅方式，若果要吸收 17.5 克維他命 C 嘅話，就要食 87.5 粒1000 mg 嘅維他命 C。但係同等劑量，亦等於約20安士嘅脂質性維他命 C 溶液。 因此就算係要食極高劑量嘅維他命 C， 其實只係等於20安士溶液。所以使用脂質性維他命 C 無需要好似口服方式一樣，需要由小劑量慢慢每日逐漸增加，或者係減劑量嘅時候，亦要慢慢每日遞減，以讓身體機能適應。除咗我哋已知嘅重症之外，更有研究資料顯示，高劑量嘅維他命 C 係有助身體對抗輻射，唔單單具備預防作用。Japanese College of Intravenous Therapy (JCIT) 日本靜脈注射學院嘅 Azuo Yanagisawa 博士更指出，高劑量維他命 C 可以幫助福島事件嘅員工減低輻射對身體嘅傷害。